today's review, we can go back in time to November the 18th, 1992. Spike Lee's epic picture documentary of the life of Malcolm X, starring Denzel Washington and Angela Bassett. This movie absolutely was necessary. This movie was absolutely needed in cinema history. Spike Lee, we all know the backstory. Hollywood didn't love him. He didn't always obey by the rules. So Hollywood and sometimes big major studios gave Spike Lee a hard time. And I'll never forget this, man. Spike Lee was paid $1 million to make Malcolm X. $1 million. He took that whole million that he made up front and poured it into the movie and still was coming up short on a budget. Warner Brothers cut him off. Nah, you ain't getting nothing, pal. The movie was not even finished being done. You still had post-production. He still had some photography filming to do. The man was crying for help, and Warner Brothers was like, sorry, if Malcolm X don't get made, Malcolm X don't get made. That's the way it is. And then came Bill Cosby, Magic Johnson, Janet Jackson, who else? Prince. Also, a few other prominent black people came to his aid. Oh, Michael Jordan. All donated millions of dollars to get the movie done, finished, into post. Warner Brothers was like, oh, we didn't see that coming. Yeah, Warner Brothers, you was tripping. The movie got finished, it got made, and it came out on the 18th of November, 1992. And at the time I was finishing up in college, me and all my college homeboys and homegirls, we all mounted up carload after carload to go support this film opening night. Only to find out Sunday when they did the whole, box office, it didn't come in at number one. We didn't understand because this movie was being promoted and just out there with folks of color supporting this film. Come to find out in some of these towns, these hick cities and hick states, people were paying for Malcolm X, but the people in the box office was giving the credit to another movie. Shameful. Hollywood is shameful for that bullshit. But anyway, the movie's epic. I enjoyed everything about that film. Denzel Washington gave the performance of a lifetime. To tell you how good this man was, the wife of the late great Malcolm X was on set, giving her input, giving some tidbits to Spike Lee how her husband was. And when Denzel got in front of the camera and started to perform, she froze. She was stuck in time. And she said to Spike Lee, my husband is here. He's alive. That man, Denzel Washington, did that to the late great Malcolm X's wife live on set. So this man channeled something deeply to do this movie. Spike Lee also stars in the movie as Shorty. Dude cracked me up. This movie was amazing. From the opening credits, you see the American flag. Then the flag catches on fire. Yeah, the American flag is on fire. Then it burns and it forms into a gigantic X. I'm like, Spike Lee's not playing. And if you don't know the story of Malcolm X, shame on you. Go do your black history. But yeah, when he was young, he went through some traumatic experiences, seeing his father being killed. His mom treated badly. The KKK came and dragged his father off, killed him. Went to a school with all whites, was treated badly as a young little black boy. Grew up, rough neighborhood, got into thuggery, drugs, drunkenness, clubbing, sleeping with white women, out there stealing and mugging people, stealing from the old, the white. He finally got caught up and went his ass to jail, went to prison. There, he discovered the Honorable Elijah Muhammad changed his life forever, became a member of the clan that we all know as the Muslims. And Malcolm X was an intelligent speaker. He believed in this religion deeply. It was a part of his life. He met his wife through the system, had his children with this woman. He would die for the Elijah Muhammad, would have died for the man. Of course, he learned throughout history that men are imperfect. They're not gods, nor should you idolize a man as a god. But when you're broken and in prison and someone does something for you that's incredible, you look up to that person, sometimes a little bit too much. And throughout the years, Malcolm learned what a real Muslim should be doing and how should they be praising their God. And therefore, his own religion turned on him and Malcolm X was then executed. That's pretty much the story of Malcolm X. But throughout history, he went through streets of Harlem, preaching, speaking, helping, anything he could, because he believed what the Muslims was putting out. He believed in it. He didn't know there was another religion out in India that did things differently. He didn't know about the brown. He didn't know that, yeah, it's not us against the white man. No, we all should come together and be one human life formed on this earth. When he found that out later, then he became the real Malcolm X, the real man. Put his family in danger because of his beliefs, cost him his own life. But before he did take that final step, he touched a lot of people again. His revigoration of who he was and what he believed in. He went to colleges and spoke to people of all races and colors. He really turned his life around. One of the most dynamic speakers we ever had in history. And the man lived a life in the time frame that he was here on this earth. And I'm a man who loves film. I believe in film. I support film. The Academy Awards let us all down that year. We all know, those who you praise the Academy Awards, you know there's a black eye on that year for the Academy. I don't care how you want to spin it, that movie should have won at least Best Picture. And it was hands down, Denzel Washington gave the performance of a lifetime. The man was robbed because Hollywood had their nose up in the air when it came to Spike Lee. Man, get past your prejudice and your differences. This is about film and filmmaking. And that film was the best film of the year. Denzel Washington gave him a performance that no one could even come close to matching. They don't give it to Al Pacino for Scent of a Woman. Are you freaking serious? No disrespect to Al Pacino, but brother, you didn't deserve that. You should have got out there and said, you know what? This is not my award. I would have slammed that shit on the ground. But Malcolm X, right now, is on Netflix. For all you quarantine fools ain't got nothing to do, educate yourself. Educate yourself. I decided to go shirtless in this video to represent what black people went through in history. Being treated like dirt, animals, beat, non-clothed, in the cold weather. And Malcolm X helped to make things better for people of color, then later on in life, for all colors. So do yourself a favor. Get educated. That bullshit they teach you in high school, it ain't real. I didn't really learn much about Malcolm X till I got to college, when I finally had a black professor teaching true black history. It wasn't just a paragraph in some big ass book called World History. And then that same year, I'm in college, the movie came out. Man, in the early 90s, I felt that black people were making a true resurgence in education, you know, just being better as human beings. And I love being alive during that time when we were woke, going to the movies, supporting these black films, and Malcolm X was the one to channel everything that you believed in as a person of color, to make you feel like the man you was meant to be when your parents made you and brought you into this world. Spike Lee famously wrote this movie. And at the very end of the movie, every race and color said the same thing. I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X. I challenge you to watch that movie and stand in front of a mirror out loud and say, I am Malcolm X. And you will feel his spirit. And you will walk this earth a different human being from then on out. I pray for God. Until the next time, please like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, and more importantly, leave those comments down low. I'm out. And yo, don't hate me. You will learn to love me when you understand what I'm all about. It's just my point of view. Hello. Now, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Without you, there's no me. And do us a favor, stop by the website at www.blacktastic.net and pick up some merchandise. Get yourself a hat or pick up a t-shirt. It's things like that that help keep the channel going. And also, feel free to leave a donation on the home page at www.blacktastic.net. Thank you all so much. Again, you make this so much fun. Without you, there's no me. Until next time, see you later.